Hi, welcome to my channel, Moon Tarot. My name is Mo. This is the Tarot and Oracle reading for Monday, the 28th of March, 2022 to Sunday, the 3rd of April, 2022. I will be using a few decks today. I'll be using the Witch Casket Self-Love deck. I got that in a Witch Casket subscription box. I'll be using the Romance Angels Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. I'll be using the Everyday Witch Oracle by Deborah Blake, art by Elizabeth Alba. And lastly, I'll be using the Everyday Witch Tarot by Deborah Blake, art by Elizabeth Alba. Yeah. All right. So I've got my moon water here for blessing. I'm going to start with myself and then I'm going to bless you. Moon water, empowering me, setting my soul and my spirit free. As magic is embodied in me. This is my will, and so it should be, and so it is. Moon water, empowering you, setting your soul and your spirit free. As magic is embodied in thee. This is your will, and so it should be, and so it is. So if you want to make yourself some moon water and just add a little bit of, this is not actually what's in the bottle, it's just water, moon water. I did under the full moon water, and then I added some essential oils for a little bit of a smell, scent. All right. All right, just some coffee to start. So let's ask the universe to bless this reading. Universe, I ask that for myself and for the collective, that I am an adequate channel for the messages for the week ahead. Help us to understand the energies, help us to see the energies, help us to do better, help us to do our best. So I'm just going to cleanse the cards here. I have some incense smoke. Cleansing and blessing, and cleansing and blessing, and cleansing and blessing, and so it is. So I'm going to draw one card for each day from the tarot for our greatest and highest good. Tuesday, the 29th of March. One card already fell out for Monday, so Wednesday, the 30th of March. Thursday, the 31st of March, last day of March. Thursday, the 31st of March. Friday, the 1st of April, 2022. Friday, the 1st of April. Saturday, the 2nd of April. Sunday, the 3rd of April, 2022. Sunday, the 3rd of April of 2022. I've got 2 cards for Sunday. So what I see so far is a lot of swords energy, and so swords energy is talking about energy of the mind, and the 2 cards that we have that are talking about swords, apart from the court card, because we have the Queen of Swords, is the 7 of Swords and the 9 of Swords. And I believe that the 7 of Swords and the 9 of Swords are cards that are a little bit iffy when it comes to how we are using our mind. There is a little bit of challenge here this week in our mental capacity. But we also have the Queen of Swords, which is talking about nurturing our mind and tackling the difficult situations that we might be encountering thought-wise, and ultimately being sovereign over the thoughts that we have. So I'm just going to draw an oracle card for the overall message for the week. Let me just cleanse the cards. I did already, but cleansing and blessing and cleansing and blessing and cleansing and blessing, and so it is. So an overall energy card, please, for the week of Monday the 28th of March to Sunday the 3rd of April. Listening to wisdom. Yeah, I definitely feel like with the 7 of Swords and the 9 of Swords, and then the court card being the Queen of Swords here, we definitely have the energy of wisdom, because we have the Queen of Swords here on Sunday along with the Emperor. So we do feel like with the Emperor on Sunday and the Queen of Swords, and of course this card, listening to wisdom, we have a balance between the masculine and feminine energies. And we have the Emperor, of course, talking about the zodiacal sign Aries, which is the season that we are in currently during this week. And we do definitely have Aries energy here on Sunday. So this is a major arcana, the Emperor. So it's talking about major secrets and talking about great energies this coming week. Of course, we do have a lot of major arcana cards this week. We have 0, which is the Fool. We have 5, which is the Hierophant. We have 15, which is the Devil. So we have 4, which is the Emperor. So we have 4 major arcana cards. And it's interesting because we have the 4 of Wands on Tuesday, and 4 is a number of stability. And then we have also card number 5, which is the Hierophant. And the card number 5, the Hierophant, is about community and bringing a sense of connection to the community. So let's get into these cards day by day and see what the energy will be like. That was just the overall, what I'm seeing with the cards overall. So let's get into Monday the 28th of March 2022. I'm just going to write down the timestamp. All right. So Monday the 28th of March 2022, we have the 7 of Swords. Now the 7 of Swords, it has this energy which causes frustration, because the individual in this card is carrying several swords and carrying them by the blades. And it's almost like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing right now? Are you even paying attention to what you're doing? Is your goal thought through properly? But also there's an energy of like the thief in this card, because as you see, there's an open window here and there's an individual coming in. There are swords on the back of the wall here, and there's an individual taking some swords, and you're wondering, did this individual come in and steal those swords, and is he trying to leave unnoticed, obviously. So on Monday the 28th of March, pay attention to the energy around you of thievery. Like, are people trying to steal your joy? And if so, how will you use positive affirmations in your life to put up a boundary in your mind so that it doesn't affect you? Because the Seven of Swords is talking about swords, and so the swords are the element of the mind. But there's also an energy of you stealing your own joy as well, and taking thoughts from other people in the form of comments, let's say, or the comments that people are making towards us. Are we taking them and making them our own, even though they aren't actually reflective of who we are? Are we just sloppily accepting other people's thoughts about us, and are we making them our own? Are we there's an energy of thievery here. There's an energy of like, I'm stealing thoughts from other people. Like, maybe you have an assumption about what somebody thinks about you, and you just take that assumption and you start to move through your day with that assumption about yourself. But it's an assumption that can cause you pain, because as we see in this card, the energy, the person is carrying the blades, the swords by the blades, pardon me. So are these thoughts, are these words actually causing you harm, and do you actually need to take them and make them your own, because you feel like this is you being sly? Like, do you take people's ideas about you and go about your day with them because you think you're gaining from this experience? Or are you going to be aware of what is actually going on and just, admit to yourself that what you're doing is not right for you and is not reflective of who you are? So that's the energy I see for excuse me, Monday the 28th of March with the Seven of Swords. Sorry, my throat is a little bit blocked here. Excuse me. All right. So that was Monday the 28th of March, 2022 with the Seven of Swords. Excuse me. Sorry. Okay. Tuesday the 29th of March. We have the Four of Wands. So Tuesday the 29th of March with the Four of Wands, there is, as we see, a celebration going on, a meeting of like-minded individuals. Sorry, I don't know why. I feel like what this whole situation with my throat going on is talking about is because we have energy of swords so predominantly this week. So we have Seven of Swords, Nine of Swords, and then we have the Four of Wands. And those are our only minor arcana cards. So what this energy of me clearing my throat is bringing to mind is wanting to get your truth out, wanting to get the truth out, but something blocking you, your thought processes or your speech processes. And I think there's a purpose for it. And now my voice is like going away. So With the Four of Wands, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. With the Four of Wands on Tuesday, the 29th of March, there is an energy of stability. Of course, here we have a castle, which is talking about stability. And we have joy, which is the understanding that you have stability. And the understanding that you can bring other like-minded individuals into your life to enjoy and celebrate the balance and the harmony in your life. Now, it seems a little bit contradictory to what I was talking about earlier about getting your truth out and getting your thoughts flowing. But I think the energy of the Four of Wands for Tuesday, the 29th of March is talking about a sense of community. And of course, we have the Hierophant card on Thursday, the Hierophant card, which also talks about community. And I think that Tuesday, the 29th of March is leading up to Thursday with the Hierophant, where we're starting to get together with people. We're starting to meet with like-minded individuals who have the same sort of aspirations and goals, and celebrating the creativity, the energy, the passion that spurs us on as individuals and as a collective. So that's the energy for the 29th of March, Tuesday, 2022. So it feels free-flowing. It feels like there is a little opening here on Tuesday where we start to feel a flow of energy. And then, of course, going into Wednesday, we have card number 0, the Fool. So here we have some stability, and we have some excitement, and we have some celebration for the 29th of March, which is Tuesday. And we have also the opportunity to let love in, to meet with like-minded individuals and appreciate life, and to celebrate the stability that we have in our lives. Thank you, universe. So Wednesday, the 30th of March, we have card 0, the Fool. Now, with this Fool card, I'm tapping into the energy of emotion and paying attention to our emotions, because the Fool is an energy of stepping in with complete faith and going about your journey with an open heart and an open mind. But of course, there is a shadow aspect to every tarot card, and I am feeling a sense of this shadow aspect here with this Fool card on Wednesday, the 30th of March, 2022, because what I'm being led to direct your mind to, your energy to, is that this individual is about to step off a cliff. Mind you, she has a broom here, which might help her to fly. But it's about paying attention to your emotions on Wednesday, the 30th of March, because your emotions are signs as to what you're heading towards and what you need to pay attention to. So you might step in with blind faith, thinking that your magical broom will support you, and perhaps it will, but do you have the faith to step in, believing that something will come through for you? Or are you going to pay more attention to your emotions and use your emotions as signs that you need to go in a specific direction that might not be one of just complete faith, but might be one of being more attentive to the situation around you? And it does feel a little bit confusing, I do agree, but when we have listen to wisdom here is talking about the Fool in this respect on the 30th of March, which is Wednesday, saying, you know, sometimes we need to pay more attention to our inner self, our inner higher self, and that voice of wisdom that's speaking to us, telling us stop here or keep going or believe in yourself. So with the Fool, I mean, it is a good energy because it is talking about starting a new adventure and just being open to whatever possibilities might come onto your path. But there's also that overall energy that we had for the week of listen to wisdom. And it's interesting that we have, you know, here we have, it looks like a hawk or something, and then here we have a crow. So we have birds here. So there's also, yeah, it's interesting because we have one other card with a bird, and it's the 9 of Swords. For Friday, there's a bird here, but it's not flying. So here on Wednesday, we have birds flying. So pay attention to what makes you soar on Wednesday, the 30th of March. Pay attention to what makes you feel free. Perhaps even paying attention to birds that are around you on this day. And perhaps the bird is our spirit animal for this week. Pay attention to the signs that the birds are giving to you. Perhaps their song, or perhaps their sort of flight, or perhaps they're gathered in groups. And pay attention to bird medicine. Pay attention to what the birds are telling you. And pay attention to what your emotion and what your wisdom is telling you here with the Fool on Wednesday, the 30th of March. All right. Thursday, the 31st. Thursday, the 31st of March. We have card number 5, the Hierophant. Now the Hierophant is, so what I'm getting is when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And that's what I feel on Thursday, the 31st of March, last day of March with the Hierophant. As you see, there is a yoga teacher here, and there are her students who are following her lead, and they're doing the same pose. So perhaps pay attention to leaders that you admire on Thursday, the 31st of March. Pay attention to the leaders that you admire and that you follow. And understand that everything that they have within themselves in order to lead you in the direction they are leading you, and they're, you know, leading us, that we have everything that it takes to follow, and that if in seeing them as a leader in a certain subject matter, we have everything it takes within us to lead in our own way, in the same way. So there's an energy of mimicking here, or mirroring the same effect, where you're on this path to become like the Hierophant, to become like the leader that you are following, and that everything that you want to achieve is not coming solely from this leader, but is coming from within yourself, and the ability that you have to learn, and the ability that you have to change to become more so the leader in this subject matter that you look at this Hierophant energy as being, and that you admire. So listen to wisdom. I do believe that with the Hierophant card, the energy of the Hierophant is an energy of a higher learning, an energy of wisdom, and the leader has the wisdom to guide us. So whatever spiritual guru or whatever individual you look to for guidance, listen to that person's wisdom, and also listen to your inner wisdom, and learn from this leader that just as this leader is listening to their inner wisdom and guiding you based on their own knowledge, that you as well can mirror that in your own life, and that you can listen to your own inner knowledge and your own inner wisdom, and also be your own sort of guide. So that's what I see for Thursday, the 31st of March, last day of March, 2022. So Friday, we have the 9 of Swords, which is our one of the 3 sword cards that we have. I don't like seeing this card because It talks about the energy of having gone through a struggle and the energy of waking up to your reality, but also waking up to a new sense of reality where the difficult mental situation that you have gone through has caused you to see life differently. And in this card, we have a sunrise coming up over the mountain. And we also have a woman who has a bunch of journals and books, and perhaps she's been journaling or reading all night, and her mind has been racing. And you know, it's interesting because I said I don't like to see this card, but at the same time, it is a card of moving forward. It is a card of becoming spiritually enlightened through difficult situations where we challenge our mind to face a situation full force and get through the challenges that are brought up in our mind and come out reinvented and reborn on the other side. So Friday, the 1st of April, first day of April, interesting enough, it's the new moon in Aries, the 1st of April, which is Friday, which is what we're talking about with the Nine of Swords. So the new moon in Aries, new moons are always times of planting seeds of intention. And it's interesting because this is the first new moon of the zodiacal wheel. Aries is the first sign in the zodiac, and it's a new moon, which is the new cycle of a moon, the first phase of a new moon cycle. And so we have energy of new beginning here. So it's almost like we're leaving the energy of March behind us and whatever challenges we had been through, but we're not leaving unscathed. Like, we still have the energy of the turmoil that we had encountered. It's like we're just getting past a difficult phase, and perhaps in the Northern Hemisphere, it's the shadow work that we've been doing over the dark months, over the period of the dark months, and maybe coming out with the Nine of Swords, having learned a lot about ourselves and having overcome many challenges, and starting out anew with the new moon in Aries with the Nine of Swords with a fresh perspective, because the Nine of Swords brings a fresh perspective because it brings a perspective of new thoughts from the turmoil of difficult old thoughts. So that's what I see for Friday, the 1st of April, 2022 with the Nine of Swords. So now, Saturday, the 2nd of April, we have card number 15 of the Major Arcana, the Devil. And I guess with this card, what we see is, although we are starting a new cycle with the new moon in Aries, we still have a lot of shadow work that needs to be done and a lot of fears that need to be faced. And the Devil card is pointing that out to us, that we had a moment of pause to be able to take a fresh breath of air and to be able to regather our strength. And now we are back to becoming illuminated by facing our fears. And so Saturday, the 2nd of April, 2022, we have the Devil. And the Devil brings into our life all those things that tempt us to take the easy path and to just let go of all the hard work we've done and just take the easy path, take the path that seems easiest and most exciting and most fun and most pleasant, and brings us the most riches and fame and glory, and just not thinking about our ego, really. And I know that sounds strange because people would say that the ego is the one that wants to take the easiest path, but the ego sometimes is the one that takes the difficult path as well, depending on where you're coming from. If you're coming from a place where you are super enlightened, super transcendent, and super high vibe and not able to come back down to earth, then the ego brings us back down to earth and allows us to feel more grounded again with reality, with thoughts of reality in this 3D realm. So the Devil is kind of like that ego that challenges us to come down from our energy of overconfidence. And I know that sounds strange too, because people might say, well, what's wrong with overconfidence? But sometimes with overconfidence, we overestimate our abilities. And it's good to be confident, but overconfident is a throwing off of the balance of confidence, because sometimes when we're overconfident, we become cocky, we become self-righteous, we become judgmental. So this is the challenge with the Devil card on Saturday, the 2nd of April, is the challenge to be balanced, the challenge to face the fears, the challenge to face the realities, the challenge to allow ourselves to become illuminated to the truth, and the challenge to not take the easiest path, or the path of just the path of least resistance sometimes is not the best path for us. So the Devil card is challenging us to take the high route, take the noble route, because the Devil is there to remind us of our past, and bring that past back to us, because the Devil wants us to overcome the challenge. The Devil wants us to pass the test, and the test is, will you take the easy route? Will you go back to the old way that you used to think, or will you allow this challenge to bring you to a higher sense of enlightenment? So that's what I see for Saturday, the 2nd of April with the Devil card. And of course we have listen to wisdom. So listen to your higher self as well. Listen to the wisdom that comes from within you, and also listen to the wisdom that comes from nature around you, and perhaps even the birds. Now Sunday, just a second. All right, Sunday we have the Queen of Swords and the Emperor, which I feel like is a really good way to end off the week, because we have a sense of balance here with the masculine energy and the feminine energy. Of course, as you see, we have the Emperor and the Queen of Swords. You might think that the opposite of the Emperor is the Empress, and that does stand to be true, because the Emperor and the Empress are together working things out. So this is more of an energy of getting together your masculine and your feminine, but it feels a little bit awkward, because it feels like two powerhouses coming together to work together, yet coming from different backgrounds, coming from different, let's say, kingdoms. Let's say a king and a queen from different kingdoms coming together to see things eye to eye, and to make an overall decision for the greater good of their community, of those that they're meant to take care of in their kingdom and empire. So here we have, there's a little bit of a weird energy. It's kind of weird on Sunday, the 3rd of April, but it's also an energy of working out the weirdness, like working out those kinks, working past what feels weird to come to a higher energy, a higher like a higher agreement with yourself. So maybe it's talking about the masculine and feminine energy within yourself, but in a different light, because I feel like all through this week, we've been trying to find balance, and we've been regaining the balance. Interesting that we don't have the Justice card, but it's interesting also that we have the Emperor card, and it is Aries season. So ultimately, I do believe that with the Emperor card, working with the Queen of Swords, there is a balance here where the masculine is the one that gives the proper and ultimate solution. So with the fact that this week has the new moon in Aries in it, which is the energy of new beginnings with the new zodiacal year and with the new moon phase coming in. Really being aware of what you are going towards in this new zodiacal year, and really being sure of what you want to plant and the intentions that you have for your life, and being very aware of it. It's a very challenging challenge to take on. And of course, we have listened to wisdom. And wisdom, like I said, can come from your higher self, can come from the help around you with the Queen of Swords. And interesting on Sunday, the 3rd of April, that we have the Queen of Swords, because she is somebody who has been through the 9 of Swords energy. And as you know, we had the 9 of Swords on Friday. And so the 9 of Swords energy with the Queen of Swords is like she's been through that in her past, the Queen of Swords, and she's come up on top, and she's come up with the knowledge that she has in order to lead a kingdom. And that's not to say that she doesn't have her bouts with mental imbalances, but she has learned how to be sovereign over her life, and not only to heal herself, but also help to heal those around her. So there's also an energy this week of, as you heal yourself, interesting that we have the Hierophant, as you heal yourself through your the people that lead you, you're also learning to heal others as you lead them. So that's what I see for the week ahead. Of course, listen to wisdom is always important, especially this week. Let's get a Witch Casket self-love card as our, let me just, all right, so self-casket love card, cleansing and blessing, and cleansing and blessing, and cleansing and blessing, and so it is. It's hard to shuffle these cards because they're so tiny. All right. Your gentle kindness is your strength, not your weakness. And so your gentle kindness is your strength, not your weakness. So it is not weak to be kind. It is not weak to be gentle. It is actually a strength that is embodied in you. So your gentle kindness is your strength, not your weakness. Keep that in mind. And of course, listen to wisdom. And is your heart telling you that indeed your gentle kindness is your strength and not your wisdom? I believe it is, because ultimately love is the highest vibration, and love is the hardest to achieve. And love and kindness, gentleness and kindness come out of love. And lastly, I just want to draw a card from the Romance Angels Oracle card deck if you have any questions about your current love situation, whether it be with a friend, a romantic partner, somebody that you have in mind, I'm going to pull a card from this oracle deck. So ask the question in regards to that person, and I'll pull a card. I'm glad that my throat cleared up. It was really interesting. All right, so let's get a question in regards to somebody that we are in relationship or we want to be in relationship with. All right, trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. So listen to your wisdom, listen to your emotions, listen to your higher self, and trust yourself. This situation is calling for you to have faith. So trust yourself, trust all the parts of you that are speaking to you. Remember that you have to operate as a whole being. You can't let one part go. You have to make sure that everything's in balance. And sometimes that balance means 60-40, and sometimes that balance means 70-30. but in total it is whole. So it's just about being a whole individual and finding out how to balance your life in the different situations that you are in. So trust and listen to your inner wisdom this week, okay? So I hope that was a helpful reading for you. Thank you for being here. My name is Mauh. If you feel like getting a private reading from me, a personal reading, you can go to my Etsy shop. I'll leave the link in the description bar down below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to comment, I'll get back to you. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. I'd love to have you here. And if you do subscribe, please make sure to hit the notification bell if you want to, so that you don't miss when I upload a new video. Have a great week, guys. Happy birthday to those of you whose birthday is this week, by the way. Bye.